Hello students, I'm Sai Baba here. So in the previous class I have completed discussion of solutions for the questions in assignment in simple harmonic question up to question number 53. Starting from 1 to 53 I have completed. So in this class I am now going to discuss the solutions for the last 7 questions in the assignment in simple harmonic question, I mean 54 to 60. So look at the screen for question number 54. Two springs of force constant K and 2K are connected to a mass as shown in the figure. The frequency of oscillations of the mass is. The mass is denoted by M in the original. I have already discussed one example based on same discussion. So already I discussed one question of same model in the previous class in the same assignment. This comes under one of the special cases I have discussed in combinations of springs. It is equivalent to the case of springs in parallel. The mass is pulled towards right and released. Then both the elastic forces, the mass M is pulled towards right and released. Then the first spring stretches by suppose distance x at a particular instant. And second spring will be compressed by the same distance x towards right. So then elastic force exerted by first spring on the mass M act towards left side. The same mass compresses the second spring towards right. So the reaction force or elastic force by second spring on the mass act towards left. So both the elastic forces act in the same direction. So resultant force in the horizontal direction. During oscillation you can write F1 plus F2. That is F1 can be done minus K1x. F2 can be done minus K2x. That K1 and K2 denote the force constant. I have already discussed one problem in the previous class based on same discussion. So that means it is equivalent to K effective into X. So the effective force constant of the combination is sum of the force constants of the individual springs in this case. So that is K plus 2K or 3K. So the time period of oscillations is given by 2 pi into root of M by effective value of K, which is reciprocal of the frequency of oscillations. Or frequency of oscillations you can write 1 by 2 pi into square root of effective value of the force constant by mass. Here effective value of the force constant is 3K. So that's the answer. So if you want to copy the solution, you can take a pause and copy the solution. This question was originally given one of the previous entrance exams in All India Institute of Medical Sciences. So for question number 54, third option is answer. Question number 55. When a mass M is attached to the spring of force constant K, then the spring stretches by L. You can write small letter L here. In the equilibrium position, the mass oscillates with amplitude against L. What will be the maximum potential stored in the spring? So in the equilibrium position, the resultant force on the mass is 0. The elongation in the equilibrium position is usually denoted by Xe. So magnitude of elastic force by spring will be equal to the magnitude of the weight mg. Here the elongation in the equilibrium position is denoted by L. So in general, if you consider the oscillations of the mass attached to spring, L naught is the natural length of spring, and x is the longest of spring in the equilibrium position or mean position of oscillation, and A is the magnitude of displacement amplitude, which is the distance between one of the extreme positions and the mean position or equilibrium position. So maximum value of the elongation of spring from its natural length. Maximum value of the elongation of spring from its natural length will be elongation in the equilibrium position plus amplitude. Here elongation in the equilibrium position is L, amplitude is also L. So maximum elongation of spring from its natural length will be 2L. So maximum value of the elastic potential energy stored in the spring is equal to half K into square of the maximum value of elongation of spring from its natural length. The maximum elongation of spring from its natural length is 2L. To simplify this, you can write it as 2KL square is the answer. If you want to write in terms of mg, here xe equal to L, so KL can be written as mg. This you can write 2KL into L, or you can write 2mgl. This will be the answer in terms of the weight of the suspended mass. This is the answer in terms of the elastic force constant. If you want to copy this working, you can take a pause and copy this working. This question was also given in one of the previous entrance examinations. So for question number 55, which I have just discussed now, third option will be the answer. Then see the question number 56. Simple pendulum of length L has a brass bob attached at its lower end. Its period is capital T. The steel bob of same size having density x times that of brass replaces the brass bob, and its length is changed so that period becomes 2T. The new length is. So here the brass bob and steel bob both have same size. That means the radius of bob is same. The effective length of the simple pendulum is the distance between the point of suspension and center of mass of the bob. The effective length of simple pendulum is the distance between the point of suspension center of mass of bob. So in general, if D is the distance between the point of suspension to the surface of the bob, at topmost point of surface of the bob, or length of the thread used to suspend the bob, and small r is the radius of the bob. So length of the pendulum can be as D plus R. Now the value of acceleration due to gravity at a given place in terms of the length of the simple pendulum and time period can be as equal to 4 pi square into L by T square. The value of acceleration due to gravity is a constant at a given place. That means L by T square is constant. Suppose if L2 is the length in the second case, and T2 is the time period in the second case, and L1 is the length in the first case, T1 is the time period in the first case. That means T1 is the time period of small oscillations of simple pendulum of length L1, and T2 is the time period of small oscillations of simple pendulum of length L2 at same place. Then L2 by T2 square can be done L1 by T1 square. So you can write L2 equal to L1 into T2 by T1 whole square. Here L1 is denoted by L, T2 is 2T, T1 equal to T. So length L2 in the second case will be 4 times the length L of the pendulum in the first case. So that's the answer. So those who want to copy the working, they can take a pause and copy the working. This question was also given one of the earlier entrance exam papers. So question number 56, answer is 2, second option. See the question number 57. A particle is performing simple harmonic motion, straight line of length 10 centimeter. The speed of the particle center of oscillations is 5 centimeter per second. Then its time period is in seconds. So let O be the mean position or center of oscillations. Let E1 denote one of the extreme positions and E2 denote the other extreme position. Distance between the mean position to one of the extreme position is equal to the magnitude of displacement amplitude. So the length of the straight line along with the particle performs linear simple harmonic motion will be 2 times the magnitude of the displacement amplitude. So given that the particle is performing straight line, performing simple harmonic motion in a straight line path of length 10 centimeters. That means it is given that 2a is 10 centimeters. So amplitude of oscillations will be 5 centimeters. The speed of the particle performing simple harmonic motion maximum at the center of oscillations. The speed of the particle performing simple harmonic motion at the mean position or center of oscillations can be written as A into omega, where A is the magnitude of displacement, amplitude, omega is the angular frequency. It is given that speed at center of oscillation is 5 centimeter per second. The amplitude of oscillations is 5 centimeter. So you get omega equal to 1 per second. So the time period of simple harmonic motion can be written as 2 pi by omega. So you get the answer as 2 pi seconds. So if you want to copy the working, you can take a pause and copy the working. So for question number 57, third option is the answer. See the next question, 58. Two bodies M and N, masses in the ratio 16:25, are suspended from two separate massless springs of force constants K1 and K2 respectively. The two bodies oscillate vertically such that their maximum velocities are equal. The ratio of amplitude of vibration of capital M to that of capital N is. So here, the time period of oscillation of a mass M suspended by spring is given by 2 pi root of M by K, which can also be written as 2 pi by omega. So we can write omega equal to root of K by M. It is given that both the bodies oscillate with the same maximum velocity of a body performing simple harmonic motion is equal to A into omega, where A is the magnitude of the displacement amplitude, omega the angular frequency. It is given that both the maximum velocity is same for both the bodies. So A1 omega 1 can write A2 omega 2. A1 is the displacement amplitude, magnitude of the displacement amplitude for first body. A2 is the magnitude of displacement amplitude for second body. Omega 1 is the angular frequency of oscillation for first body. The mass of the first body I denoted by M1. So angular frequency omega 1 can write root of K1 by M1. The angular frequency of the second body I denoted by omega 2, which you can write root of K2 by M2. Here K1 and K2 are the force constants of the two springs from which the two masses M1 and M2 are suspended. So you get A1 by A2 is equal to root of K2 by K1 into root of M1 by M2. It's given that the ratio of the masses, first and second blocks, second bodies is 16:25. Therefore, you get A1 by A2. Root of K2 by K1 into root of M1 by M2. That is root of 16 by 25. That is 4 by 5 times root of K2 by K1. So rate of the amplitudes of oscillations will be 4 by 5 times root of K2 by K1. Or root 4 root K2 is to 5 root K1. So we want to copy the solution of the problem. You can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. So for question number 58, fourth option is answered. See the question number 59. The graphical variation between time period against length of simple pendulum is. We already discussed in the theory part the graphical variation. The acceleration due to gravity at a given place in terms of the length of the pendulum and time period is given by g equal to 4 pi square into L by t square. So at a given place, the value of acceleration due to gravity is a constant. So L is proportional to t square. So if you draw a graph with the length along x-axis and time period along y-axis, the relation is x proportional to y square. So x proportional to y square will be a parabola. In general, x equal to y square graph you might have drawn in the school. It will be a parabola like this, symmetric about x-axis in this way. X equal to y square graph will be a parabola symmetric about x-axis. But here, the time cannot be negative. Therefore, you get only this side of the graph. That means this is the correct graph. It will be a parabola. You get this graph for y proportional x square. But here, you get this graph in case you take time period along x-axis and length along y-axis. In that case, you get the graph this way. But anyhow, it will be a parabola. So first option is answer. Come on, look at the question number 60. Mass M is suspended from a spring of negligible mass. The spring is pulled a little and then released. It executes simple harmonic oscillations of period t. When mass is increased by small m, the period becomes pi t by 4. The ratio small m by capital M is. So the time period of oscillations of mass m suspended by spring by 2 pi root of m by k in the first case. So in the second case, the time period the new time period in the second case is denoted by t dash. 2 pi to total mass which oscillates in second case will be original mass capital M plus increase in the mass which is denoted by small m. But the elastic force constant K is a constant for a given spring. So if you divide t dash with t, that will be root of capital M plus small m by capital M. T dash is given to be 5t by 4. You are asked to find the ratio small m by capital M. This you can write separately capital M by capital M plus small m by capital M. So if you square both sides, 5 by 4 whole square. Capital M by capital M is small m. The root will go on the right side. This you can simplify further to get the answer, that is small m by capital M. That comes out to be 9 by 16. If you want to copy the working, you can take a pause and copy the working. So for the question number 60, first option will be the answer.